guys, thanks for joining me for another video today. In this video, we are going to be coloring Goofy, who is slightly running off the page here. I have a very big problem with proportions and centering my images, so that's a topic for another video. But today, we're going to be using these Copics to color Goofy here, and I've never used Copics on Tantone paper before, so I'm not sure how this is going to work out. So this is just as much of an experiment for me as it is trying to get a piece of artwork finished. So without further ado, let's get going and let's see how this is going to turn out. What we're going to do first is we're going to use the grays and the blacks, and we're going to get all of the darker colors taken care of first. Now that I've got all the dark, the black put in where I want to put it, I'm going to go in with this white Prismacolor pencil because I don't have a white Copic, of course, so I'm going to go in and do the highlights in the eyes and in the teeth here, along with a little bit of blue coloring here to put some shading on the teeth as well. Now, as you can see, I pushed quite hard on the white pencil when I was coloring because it's a Prismacolor pencil, and sometimes you have to, especially with the white, you have to push a little bit harder to get that I guess the pigment of the pencil into all of the little surfaces of the paper. So I tend to push a little bit harder on that. Now, there's one thing that I found even going this far with using Copics is that on this paper it bleeds quite a bit. You can see up right here there's a lot of bleeding in the paper, and I've tried using the colorless blender like you would with other papers to, try to push that color back, but it's not doing anything, and that's going to make the picture look different now when I go and color in the green in the hat. So that's my next step, is that I'm going to go in and color the hat in with these two colors here and see how that looks. Overall, so far it's not going too bad. There are some things that I wish were different, but again, this is pretty much experimenting for me to see if I do actually like using the Copics on this paper. Now, so far we can see here that the color has gone through quite a bit, and I probably used a little bit more of this, the blacks and the grays, than I needed to because I couldn't get it to work out the way I wanted to. So I probably did use a little bit too much ink there, but let's keep going and let's get this hat finished. Now that I have this done, if I really wanted to go in with a lighter green up in the hat, I can do that as well. So that would look similar to this. I'm just going to sharpen a pencil here real quick. I'm very unorganized today. Let's see here. So if I wanted to, I could have really went in with this light color pencil here, and I could have put in these the highlights here again without using the Jelly Roll pen, because I find that the Copics and the Prismacolor pencils go really well together, so you have a chance to really layer the mediums one on top of the other. But you should never use your Copics on top of your Prismacolor, because once it picks up that the grittiness from the pencil here, it gums up your nibs, and then they're a little bit difficult to use. So you might want to stay away from doing that. I'm just getting a Prismacolor colorless blender ready here, and I just want to soften out these edges here so it doesn't look like one color begins and one color ends. So I'm just gonna smooth that out a bit, and because I still do want a little bit of the white line in, I'm still gonna go back in and put that in just slightly here. But I like now that I have the green highlight in there as well, and it's pretty close to the color of the Copic that I was using. Pretty close. So the next step is I'm going to do the mouth and the tongue here. The reason why I'm keeping this brown for last is because I don't think the color is going to change a whole lot. So let's see. Now I have freckles on this dude here, but the picture, the example that I'm going by, I don't have it. So I don't know what color to put that. So I'm going to leave that for last as well. So I'm going to use this pink and this red for the inside of the mouth, and instead of using another kind of pink, I'm actually going to take my lightest gray here, and I'm going to go in and put shadows on the inside of the mouth with the grays rather than using another tone of the reds and the pinks here. Alright guys, this red went up into the rest of the paper here really, really bad. I don't know if I'm going to be able to cover this up, but this is the last two colors. I hope me doing this on this paper gives you guys a little bit of insight as to what can happen and how to do things. I don't know, I'm probably not the best person to give instruction on how to color on this paper, but I would like to think that the way that I'm using the Copics, that there's nothing wrong with it, and maybe that the Copics that I have are just they're, I don't know the correct word to use, that maybe that some of the ink is coming out too much maybe, and that's causing it to bleed quite a bit. And as you can see here, I can't cover that up. So what I think I might have to do is to go in and get a brown Prismacolor pencil maybe, and do my shading that way. And I think I'm just gonna grab them all here. I think what I have to do is go in a little bit as well with a different pink on the tongue here, because it does not look good. So I think what I've learned so far from doing this is that there are certain colors that you can use to put on the paper, and certain colors you just shouldn't use on the paper because they don't jive well. So right now I'm just looking for a darker brown to put some highlights or shadows or whatever you want to call it in here, and I'm just going by the picture that I have, and still again I can't cover this up. It's too dark for me to do anything with. So I would like to think that this is yet again another failed experiment or another failed video. However, with that being said, I did learn quite a bit here, and if I want to continue to use the Copics on the Tantone paper, I will have to experiment just a little bit more and get a little bit more practice with doing this, because I've seen so many people do exactly what I'm doing and have a very a much better turnout than than I have, so they've managed to work on their pictures and not make a mess. That's pretty much what I'm saying. They worked on their pictures and they haven't made a mess, so I'm not really sure if it's just me with the lack of experience or if there is something that I'm doing wrong, but this just is not working out the way that I wanted it to. Alright guys, so I'm just going in with a little bit more brown colors here because I wasn't liking how it was turning out. So what I've done is I've gone over the entire thing again with the white pencil. And I'm just going to go in very lightly and try to put these colors back in where I have them, because I did kind of mess up. And I'm not using the pencils correctly either. You're supposed to color in little circles, but I've just got so much buildup of the waxy pencil here now that it's a little bit difficult to put any color back on, so I've pretty much ruined my picture. But we're gonna finish it and see what we get out of it, so bear with me here. And you can see that I'm going over my lines as well, and you don't want to take your Copic multi-liner back over that either. You want to, if you have like an old Sharpie or something, that would be sufficient enough to go back in over these lines, because you don't want to ruin your expensive supplies. So now that I'm pushing extra hard on this blender tool here, I feel that it is looking a little bit better. Goofy doesn't have as much shading in his face as he should, but that's okay. We're going to work with it anyway, because there's only so much I can do now because I've put so much down. Alright. That's not too bad. It's okay. We're gonna work with it. We're gonna work with it. You should also never run your hand over your picture like I just did, because now I have colored pencil in areas that I don't want it. Wow, this is just turning out to be just a disaster. Don't do what I just did. That's why I have the brush here, because you can flick it. The oils in your fingers tend to smudge in the pencil in the paper a little bit more than it needs to, and the kneadable eraser, as you can tell, it does not lift anything, so that's a no-no. So all I have left to do really is put in a few more highlights in places that I want, because I didn't draw a neck or a body on this guy. As I said before, I pre-drew this off camera a while ago, and I just thought it would be a good thing to attempt using the Copics on. So yeah, if you've learned anything here today, please let me know what you've learned. If you feel like I've made mistakes, which I know I have, feel free to give me some insight on what I should be doing in order to get these markers to look okay on this paper. Clearly I've done something wrong because they're not showing up the way they should, and I was really hoping to get a nice effect here. And now when I mean go ahead and let me know what I've done wrong, I don't mean for you to tear apart my video and just be mean about stuff. If you're going to leave a comment about my work, please leave a comment that can be used as constructive criticism and not just outright being mean, that would be really, really nice. As well, you can see that I'm trying to do something different here today as well, and I'm trying to do a little bit more live work, so to speak, rather than speed paints all the time. And if you like that, let me know if you enjoy that as well, or if you do enjoy the speed paints instead with music. I know some people would like me to talk in my videos, but I don't always have something to talk about, so it's a little difficult. But I am trying to meet expectations and everything else, so I'm doing the best that I can. Anyhow, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you would like to see more videos like this where I'm experimenting with different supplies and trying to learn how to do things, let me know. I know the video is probably a little bit longer than it should be, but I find that when I'm doing live work or, you know, talking while I'm working, the videos tend to get a little bit longer. But I'm going to let you guys go here, and I'm just going to do a few more touch-ups to this picture and see if I can salvage it at all. And yeah, don't forget to leave a like and a comment if you enjoyed the video. Or again, like I said, if you have any constructive criticism, or if you'd like to make a comment about what I've done here today. So thank you guys so much. See, I just went ahead and made a mistake again. Don't put your hand down in wet ink. It doesn't go over well. But anyhow, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys come back again next week for my next video. Thank you guys so much for watching my video today. If you liked it, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, comment down below, share with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already to make sure you see my future videos. Until next time, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.